Oops. Well, alright. I had to start a little bit late because we don't know where Lambda is, but we cannot play this any longer. So, welcome everyone. It's gonna be the fourth entry of the Deepground podcast, and this time we giving a little bit of time because you know how people are with spoilers, right? So I feel like if we just did that instantly, people wouldn't really like to discuss it. So we went a little bit like a month or two late, right? And we're going to discuss Endwalker. I talk about the expansions. We're gonna talk about the one expansion, well, the other expansions too. The dungeons, the trials, basically everything around it, even the glamours. We're gonna try to cover everything as much as we can. We probably won't stay for too long, maybe an hour or two. I'm gonna make this too long. But that being said, I'm going to introduce my other two friends, which are Baron and Crumb. The girls are gonna come here right now. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Greeting.
Alright. We're gonna start right now like this. Lambda, I guess, will hop up at some point later. But for now, until then, we're gonna start like this. So, how are you guys doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing as well. Alright, so the first thing I guess that we should talk about is the I guess the story, because after all 14 is basically, you know, it's basically an excuse of an MMO, but it's basically a single player RPG with like multiplayer things on top of it. Like, I think most of the people that play the game is the story, and then after that is the raids, right? But like, I think for the most part, I guess there's two kinds of people that play the whole story and then the people that just skip everything just for the raids, but I think that's like a minority. So I wanted to ask you guys, like, how did you find basically the story in general? Compare maybe to the other expansions, or like, this is basically like the season finale of like, how long has this been going on for? Like 8 years at this point? It's been going for a while, so like, how do you guys think of this? I guess we can say it's like a conclusion to the story overall.
I think 14 has just gone from strength to strength. Like, story-wise, like, A Realm Reborn wasn't terrible, but it's obviously not the best story. Heavensward got a major upgrade. And for all of its hate, I did enjoy Stormblood. It's not my favourite by far, but I did enjoy it. I didn't feel like it was, you know, a grind. Shadowbringers was just amazing. But I think that's because they also improved a lot of stuff. Like, they added the trust system. And like, for like the first time, I felt I was like part of the Scions, whereas like before, it was always like, you know, like in Heavensward, you know, when you fight Hraesvelgr, and Alphino and Estinian go off and do their own thing, and I was like, well, I get why they're doing it, but I still, and then like in Stormblood when, you know, we were doing all those things, and yeah. So I think Shadowbringers was a big upgrade, and Endwalker just like definitely topped off for me. I think the story was amazing. The only thing that I didn't like was the space bird woman causing problems.
Meteon?
Yeah, like I don't know, like when they said, you know, about the final days in Shadowbringers, like, they were like, oh, like the ether just stopped and all this shit, and I was like, oh my god, that's so interesting. And then it figures that it's a depressed bird woman in the middle of space somewhere killing everyone, and I was like, well,
yeah, I don't think
really
anyone... Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting that, to be honest. Like, it's such a like twist or kind of thing, because there was nothing set in stone in that part, so like, I don't think there was any way to tell It was gonna be some random bird from the edge of the universe that was gonna try to kill us. So like I thought it was something like idling Zodiac related, the final days thing, or like it was coming from somewhere else. But no, it just turned out it was just like experiment gone wrong and some shit basically.
Yeah, and I really disliked Elpis.
Oh really?
Yeah.
How did you?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I found it very sluggish. And like the whole thing of like Elizabeth saying you can't change the past or whatever, like you can't change the events. And then we went in and changed the events.
Yeah, that's a part that I got a little bit. That's a part I got a little bit confused because you cannot change the past and the future and stuff, but like we kind of did a few things that I felt like they were really relevant personally.
Yeah.
Like I felt like we kind of made. I know probably for them it was not a big impact because it was only Benat, the one that remembered. But it it's kind of like the butterfly effect. It did eventually led to us being like a big influence. Ersa to say in 5 minutes and he's already wrong. Impressive. I mean, I cannot get the power of Elpis because Elpis is a very interesting place, right? But I felt like there was quite a bit of filler there. Like there was a point where I was like, man, I feel like I'm.
No, the thing, in my opinion, I think is very lore heavy. They wanted to explain a lot of things in that segment, so maybe that's why you can feel it as sluggish.
Maybe, yeah. Because
they wanted to explain a lot of things in that period.
But I am all for lore dropping. Like I love it, and like there was a lot of lore drops about Hydaelyn and stuff in Shadowbringers and like Zodiac and their origin and like the Ascians and all that stuff, right?
But the thing I mean was focused in it. The LP segment.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like I just felt like it was like when there were lore drops in Shadowbringers, it was very well paced.
Yes.
Whereas in Endwalker, like you basically go to Vanaspati, don't you? And you do the dungeon, and you see the final days for your first first time, and then you go around and like do all the rest of it, right? Like, everything in Thavnir, and then you go to, and then it's like all this action and all this like, oh my god, the world is and they one thing that they did do is really like a lot of times like Shadowbringers, it was like kill the Light Wardens, it's probably going to have an effect on us, but kill the Light Wardens and that will save everyone. And like, Dawnblood was kill Xenos and fight the Empire, whereas Endwalker was like, what do we do? Like, people's feelings are killing them. You can't tell people not to feel. So like I was like, I don't see a way out of this. So they did make it very hopeless, and then they're like, oh, and then what's his face? Is it Graha that says go to Elidibus?
Yes, it was Graha.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh great. So he's he's still around and whatever, and then you go to Elpis, and then there's just nothing. There's just nothing right up until the end when Meteon has a bitch fit.
I mean, there's one thing that I felt like there was times in Elpis where I was like, okay, guys, I think it's obvious that it's the Dynamis thing, right? I felt like the NPCs, like Venat and whatever, were somehow not figuring it out, and I can already figure it out by that time. Like we were already, as soon as we got off the table, I was like, okay, it's Meteon, Dynamis kind of stuff, right? And for some reason, we have to like go around a lot of places just to get to that conclusion. And I was like, I felt like we didn't need to do all that to kind of find out that it was Meteor and Dynamis was the key, right? And then we got to the part where like Meteor loses her shit, but there was that part in between the talk we had with Emmett Selk and Deus and Benat and when Meteor loses her shit, that I was like, how is this not obvious there? I feel like we don't need this much, I don't know, research or talking to people to like, kind of like confirm that this is the root of the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, considering that Emmett Selk, when he goes to Elpis, discovers hears for the first time what Dynamis is, because Emmett Selk and any of those people knew what the fuck Dynamis was.
Mm-hmm.
Only was Hermes because of the experiments and all that. And then Emmett Selk don't believe you at the first place. So Emmett Selk is like, yeah, whatever you say, bestie.
Yeah.
So the only one who actually believes you is Benat. It's just
his Deus does, I think.
Deus doesn't go deep on it. Benat goes with you to investigate that. Okay, so Hermes sent the sisters to another star. So okay, Benat is the only one who actually cares about the Dynamis stuff.
Yeah, like Deus gives you the benefit of the doubt, but I don't think he's like full convinced on it. But I guess he said he doesn't want to be rude. He's like, I'm not sure about that, but let's say you're right, and he kind of tries to help you out. Like I think Deus will try to help you out anyway, even if you're sure that what you're saying. But at the same time, there's like parts where Deus, when you say things that happen, and Deus is like, oh, that's totally a thing that MSF will do, and I guess that kind of stuff makes him believe it more. So I think he's kind of like 50% on it, but he's not like completely sold on the whole topic. But I feel like he's a little bit like curious a little. But yeah, Emmett Selk, I guess, is just like bitch in denial because he makes him look like an idiot, which I guess he kind of is for what he did.
Yeah.
But yeah.
For
me, For me, that part, it was a little bit slow, but I really liked the Elpis and the concept of Elpis and the whole thing. It is true that the pace there was not my favorite, although I think the worst pace of the story overall was the bunny.
Yes.
Let's explain Labyrinth.
Yes, I think that's easily the worst part.
That is the worst part. I think we can only had an agreement with that.
Like
that was very sorry.
No, I was gonna say it is kind of funny at first, but then I'm like, why is this taking so long?
Yeah, it was very similar to when you were building the that giant mech thing in Shadowbringers, right?
Oh yes,
the giant
the same
Talos,
energy.
The Talos, it was basically just like, oh well, he's flown off to the sky and now we don't have a way to get to him safely, so let's spend 10 quests building this thing or whatever, and definitely had the same energy as that. But the one thing I did like about the bunny thing was the Orion J bit with
that
is the make
Moonbreeder's
it worth it in my
parents.
opinion. Yeah.
I think and then, but you also got, because obviously, like, we don't know that much about like Orion J. Like, we just don't know like what, like, his past and what he was like growing up or anything like that, right? Because like we know about Y'Shtala and we know about Dankrid and Graha and like the twins. Obviously, they've basically grown up with us, even though we don't know how long the game's actually been, but they basically grow up with us, right?
Yeah, literally.
But the one person that we don't know that much about is Orion J, and it was nice to sort of see the Moonbreeder's parents saying that when he was a kid he was picked on for like not being able to speak to people, and he would rather like dig his head into a book, and now he's like surrounded by people basically being the center of attention, which is something that he would have never have done like without basically Moonbreeder pushing him. And I think that whole part, I think that was to emphasize him specifically.
Yes.
So I still don't like the fact that we ran round and tried to find those 12 fucking people
yes,
for the rabbits.
Yes.
Yeah, I hated that part, and I would rather never do that ever again. But like, I liked that it emphasized, you know, when they were like, "Oh wow, Urian Chase Grown is a person," and we didn't know that. It's always like, "Oh, actually, yeah, I get it. Like, this is cool."
That's interesting that he doesn't grab the attention, but the way he talks is basically the. I guess that's why he was picked on. Okay.
Probably,
Like,
yeah.
He talked like that like ever since, right?
I think so, yeah.
He will probably like. I guess it makes sense now that I think about it. I never thought about it that way. I will get him bullied for me. That's kind of fucking. But yeah, I really liked that part. It just I felt like the whole bunny section wasn't necessary, but
yeah.
The other part that I did not like, which I guess this is probably like no, this is probably like a lot of people's favorite part, right? And I kind of like it, but at the same time, it kind of like threw me out of the, I don't know how to call it, like suspension of disbelief of like believing the story is the Ultima Full part where I really like the last world and like everything that happened there, but I couldn't be sold or feel sad after a while. I genuinely believed, which that's when they got me, and I thought some shit was gonna happen, is when Thancred was gone, right? And I was like, wow, they're actually gonna kill Thancred. And I thought that was actually gonna happen. And even though it was very sudden, I was like, oh, maybe we get like a flashback, or maybe he appears again before he dies or something like that. But then as soon as their voice was starting to disappear, Estinian gave me like a big question mark. I was like, wait, again, what the fuck? Are we gonna have 2 people killed? That's kind of weird, right? So suddenly. And then when we started getting to Justo and stuff like that, I was like, okay. Yeah, at that point, I could not feel like sad or anything about anything that was happening, because I was like, I know that later they're just gonna come back. So that kind of like, I'm a little bit sad that maybe not necessarily the science, but I feel like Square Enix doesn't have the balls to like kill characters like our major ones, which I can understand. But at the same time, if you kind of bait me with it, you kind of have to give me something. It's kind of like the Apex Riders, where they do like a lot of things and they never close anything because they don't want to take any risks. So I felt like they just did this big thing that they could have taken a risk, and they ended up like backpedaling super hard, and I was like, well, that's kind of that's kind of fucked up for me, because I felt like, I don't know if I would say lied to, but I couldn't believe it from the start, and I was like, I don't know. It was a pretty cool place and had very cool scenes, and I really like the cutscenes there, and I think the whole place is cool, but the part that I should feel sad about was just not there. So I was just there for the ride. I was enjoying it, but every time I could tell they were trying to make me feel sad, I was like, I know they're coming back, bestie. You cannot do this to me. Which I guess that kind of makes me feel sad, because I wish I could feel that emotion in that moment, because I feel like other people around me could. And I was like, like, for example, you did, right? Like, you were like, you were fucking crying, and I was like, I wish I could be fucking crying here too, right? Because, hello.
I'm so sorry. Something came up.
Okay, it's fine. Don't worry. We're just like on the story part, so you're fine.
Okay.
So yeah, basically, if they at least got someone out of the way on that part, instead of like trying to bait me into feeling bad, It will be kind of the same that they did with Heidelin, right? Because with Heidelin or slash Bernard, I think most of us, or at least me, felt like, oh, Heidelin is such a piece of shit, she's gonna fucking backstab us. I hate her, right? Which, it's the kind of thing you would expect. I think everyone was expecting to Heidelin to backstab us, and we were, oh, we're gonna fight Heidelin at some point. And ironically, I feel like it caught a lot of people off guard, the fact that, no, Heidelin was just being nice this whole time. Right, I am ashamed that we ever doubted her, right? Like, everyone was doubting Heidelin. And I think that's because that will be the kind of twist everyone would expect. But there's a no, she's just Crystal Mom and she's just trying to be nice to us and she's helping us.
Which
right?
I actually think that is a good twist in and of itself.
Yes.
I think they were very good in planting the seed of doubt so like Yashola basically was like, we don't know her, and now that we know she's a primal, she was basically said that question of her champions, like the people with the Echo, they're like, are they tempered? Are they not? Are we just doing her will because we're tempered? And then if we take out Zodiac, she's just going to become all powerful, and what the fuck's going to happen? And obviously, they were very good in planting that seed, and then obviously it just turned out, as you said, she's just Crystal Mom and she just wants to save everyone.
Yeah, and I think that's a good twist. Because, yes, I will have like, oh, Heidelin bad, right? It would have been like a fun thing to do, but it wouldn't have surprised me. And by them doing nothing, it actually caught me off guard. I was like, wow, so there was no backstab? I was not getting fucked over? So is she just being nice? And I guess that's a good twist. And
can I?
Yeah?
No. Can I just say that, like, it's actually really funny because we, like, all four of us get the point that, you know, Heidelin good all along. But
yes.
There is still a surprising number of people that, for some reason, still thought Heidelin bad.
I mean, you could argue that, I guess, depends on how you say it.
Because in my opinion could be bad because she chose by herself the fate of mankind. She said, oh, you want to pray Zodiac again to save your loved ones, then I'm gonna do whatever fuck I want. I'm going to sound the roll because I think that is the right thing.
Yeah. Like, from that perspective, you could think Heidelin bad. It just depends on how you say it, but I think in the end it worked out, so she kind of knew what she was doing. And there was some other people behind it, right? Like, it was not only Benad that was behind the whole Heidelin thing, like, it was a group of people.
Yes.
So I guess there was like at least some sort of group behind, even though it doesn't look like it on the cutscene that we get, which is, you know, I think that's the best cutscene of the whole fucking expansion, the one from Amarok.
It is.
Yeah.
It is actually amazing. And since there, we only see her by herself. Like, some people might get the impression that but in theory, right, there should be like a group behind her supporting her. But
yes, in Shadowbringers, when you go to, how's it called, Anamnesis Annihilation, you see the records, and it was a group of people, and Bernard was the leader.
I think one of the worst takes is literally someone said Venat did all of that just to gain, like, godlike powers or some shit.
Yes. Yeah, that must be it. But yeah, no.
Yes, let's sunder the world and make it and break it apart just for power. Yes,
that doesn't make any sense because even if she has a lot of power, she has to use all the power suppressing Zodiac, so she cannot use any of her powers. She's stuck.
But she's a god, Lamau. That's why.
Right. If anything, we have to remember how much she loved us. Yeah, and I think that's a good twist. So
yeah,
that was the kind of thing that I was looking for in Ultima Thule, but it just never happened. I was like, man, they're really just gonna revive all of them at the end. So I could just genuinely not feel bad about anything that was happening, because I was like, well, they're just gonna come back because I'm just not gonna kill all the entire cast. If they kill one, maybe two, maybe if they just kill the twins, right? Because I think that's what most of people were expecting, especially after they give that big ass death flag on the trailer, which it was a fucking bait, because of course it was. People were expecting any of them to die, and I think that would have been fine. Obviously, I'm not saying that, oh, for your story to be good, people need to buy. Are you're baiting my ass into it just to bring them back? I'm like, well, if you don't want to kill them, then don't kill them, but don't do this to me. don't bait me into thinking that. I guess it could work, but I felt like the bait was not good enough for me, at least me personally. However, the other people that were already dead, he did a very good job. Like, for example, with the dungeon with Hashef and
Altiasco.
Yes, that part was good.
Yeah, I think the thing I found about Ultima Thule was because when they were disappearing, I was like, okay, I know for a fact this area is going to exist after we have finished the story. There's no way they're going to create this area just for us to only be here, while we're doing the story. Mm-hmm. And the whole thing about it, and the whole reason why it exists, is because of their, their overpowering feeling of whatever. And I was like, well, if they come back to life, that goes away, so what happens to Ultima Thule? So I was like, well, maybe, I don't know, I was like, maybe they'll explain it some way. But I think what got me was, like, Yashola and Urianger, basically when she was like, you can use the Azem stone to bring us back, and I was like, okay, great. Well,
but she also said don't do it.
She also said don't do it, but like, we're gonna do it, right? We're gonna find some way to do it, because we're
gonna do it.
But I think what really did it for me, so obviously Graha died. It was the fucking song. It was the song. The song just got me. As soon as he died, in inverted
it's close in the distance starts.
And then that fucking song, I was like, wah! I was just like sobbing. And then like the twins died, and then it carried on, and it was a slow walk, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. And then and then they came back to life, and I was like, yes, love it so much. And then you did the last dungeon, and then it was the cutscene after the last dungeon, when obviously they all got sucked up into the air, didn't they?
Yeah.
And like, Meteor was going to kill them, and we teleported them away, but our teleportation device went away. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I was very sure we were going to die.
I kind of thought that was going to happen as well, and then the fucking Xenos showed up.
Yeah. Nowhere. Well, but even after Xenos showed up, I was like, we have no way of getting out of here. Well, actually, obviously, then Meteor was like, come with me. All hope is renewed. And I was like, yes. and then obviously the fucking Xenos one-on-one happened, and which I found really cool. Like, I found it, I loved that part, and it was great. And then when we were lying there, I was literally like, this is it. I was like, because before Endwalker came out, I was like, I know that they said obviously there's raids and there's obviously more story, and they're not just going to kill off your Warrior of Light or something, but I was like, I was so sure that something was going to happen to us, like something really bad. So I was like, this is it. I was like, how do we get out of here? And then the fucking teleporter appeared out of nowhere, and I was like, where did you come from?
It would have been funny if, like, instead of that, they just make us, like, make a new character to replace the one that we did because of something, and it would have been Urianger plays the Xenos gave you teleporting his death. Yeah, that's a theory that has been going on.
Oh, okay.
And that is also my theory. Basically, like, there is this theory that people have that, which I really like the idea that it's like basically Xenos on his last dynamis, you know, like how the others manifest dynamis and die, and quote unquote died. Xenos used his last, you know, the last that he had in him to use dynamis to summon the teleporter to get you out of there. Which I think that would be pretty cool if that's the case. Like, I want to believe that is the case and not something else, because Urianger, when you talk to him on the Rising Stones, it's like, oh, there's no explanation about how could the teleporter be there. Could it be like someone's will or someone's wish that got that there, but who could that be, or something like that? And I want to believe that it was Xenos, and it was not like, no, I don't know, like young or some shit. I think being Xenos will be.
I feel like if it's
besides Mityon, I think it's not Mityon, because in the credits, when you know the credits, you start like waking up and Ali, they are all like crying. Ali says that imagine our worries when Mityon said you were right behind us, so you weren't. So Mityon, I think it couldn't be.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Landa?
I feel like if they did something really wild, like they rolled the credits while the camera was just focused on our walls and Xenos' dead body, like in complete silence. Like if they just had the credits rolling.
Oh my god.
And that's it. Like it was just complete silence. Nothing else is happening. There's no one talking. Urianger isn't narrating or anything. If they did that, it would be more believable for me that we weren't gonna get our wall back and that's it. We're dead. We're fucked. I would have believed that. But the problem, like, and like up until everything that happens in Ultima Thule, I was ready to believe people were gonna die. But I don't know if it's just because I couldn't suspend my disbelief enough. But like, the moment people started dying en masse, like one right after the other, that's when I started thinking, yeah, they're not staying there.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened to me. But like after that, I could not, which is unfortunate. I feel like I wish
I think how I looked at it was I knew they were coming back, but the moment was still because at the end of the day, obviously they came back, but we had no idea that they were going to. Like, we had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, we could have just been like, Grainies wouldn't do that, would they? And it's like, well, actually, they could. Like, they could literally just kill them all off and be done with it. Like, so I was a bit like, I was like 90%, yeah, they're coming back. But then I think instead of being like, well, you know, they're going to come back, so I'm not going to feel sad for them, I was just less thinking about what's going to happen and just more about living in that moment.
Yeah.
As if they were going to die. I think that helped me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, how brutal would it have been if, like, everyone actually died and you have to come back by yourself to the ship?
I honestly, yeah, I was like, they're not, like, if they come back, that's it.
Like, imagine the credits is, you just come back, but you're just basically alone in the ship because no one else is there, except, you know, the bunnies, I guess. But, like...
Yeah.
Like, that would have been such a different ending. And if you think about it, that could actually just happen because since the Science just disbanded and everyone goes and does their own shit, they could have easily just written it as if, like, just everyone died and you're basically on your own now. Which I don't think will have been bad. I would have liked that. But...
Would it have been sad? Yes. Would it have been interesting? Yes.
I also quite like the fact that they disbanded the Scions. Like, I'm kind of sad, but I like that they have disbanded them. So, like the story, because the thing is, if they're still together, the story has to revolve around those characters. Whereas, like, if they disband and they're all, they're doing secret projects all around the world, then it doesn't have to revolve around any of them. It just has to revolve around us, or like, which I have a theory about what's coming up next. So when we get onto that, I'll talk about it. But like, it there is a lot of, it will just be us and like us in the world. It's basically us from the beginning. Like, we're in the world by ourselves. Yes, we have friends, and yes, we have all these people that we can go to, but at the end of the day, officially, we're not together. So it is just go out and find adventure again.
I still think we're gonna probably interact with them again and stuff, but I guess it will be like a different approach. Alright, that being said, so what would you say from the expansion, right? What will be like your favorite like discovery or reveal, or anything that reveal on this expansion, whether it's like mechanic or story? It can be like lore, it can be like, I don't know, maybe you start the crafting. anything that
we know that would be funny.
Yes. but like from ever since you started playing Endwalker, that you were like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. Like it like got stuck with you, and what will be like that thing that you really like about the expansion?
One thing, I know maybe sounds really stupid, but one thing that I like they added to Endwalker was, that in these cutscenes, like, you throw the weapon.
Oh yes.
They make an animation for every freaking job, and I fucking love it.
I am so tired of my character just pulling it out like in a fraction of a second. It looks so fucking janky. Like,
especially its animations are a bit wonky anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
Now you can pull out your dick slower.
Yes.
In a cool way.
It's worth
For
calling
example,
you
I
up
saw the samurai one.
Yes.
Samurai actually, like, you kneel a little bit to pull out the katana, and I say thank you.
That is pretty cool. I really like it. That is actually something I completely forgot, but I really appreciate that.
Yeah, same.
That they did, because it's really, really nice.
Monkey, you actually go into a pose.
Oh yeah, you do. Do like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just whack out a bit but slower.
What does Sage do?
He just pulls out the things for like slower. It's almost the same animation actually. It's just slower. It's very similar. It's just slower. So it's a little bit disappointing for Sage, but I guess they were like, what is he gonna do?
It's gonna spin. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I guess they were not feeling very creative with that one, but yeah, it's almost exactly this. There is nothing. What will it be like for you, Lambda?
Like, one thing that I like about the expansion.
Well, maybe not necessarily but like thanks to the expansion you found out. Maybe.
Oh, like a reveal, or like.
Yeah, like something that caught your attention. That.
Well, I don't know if any of them count, but like, Endwalker, I just had like a bunch of quality of life changes that I really liked. Because like I'm struggling to think about how to answer this question. But like in terms of like reveals and stuff.
It could be story. It could be like story, mechanics, like anything. Like a thing that you like from. It can be story.
Oh, the big reveal. Oh, the Elpis stuff. Like the reveal of like how we like saw like the world unsundered and how like shit things were. Or like or I guess basically, because like in Shadowbringers, we saw like the final days, but we don't really go into a lot of detail of, oh, how did we get here?
Yes. I was not expecting them to do that, to be honest.
Yeah, same. But then I think there was so much like when they said, oh, like they actually covered stuff from like Dawnblood, Heavensward, A Realm Reborn, and I was like, do you know what, actually? Like I forgot half of this shit happened. Because it's been so long. So I'm kind of glad that I think it was important that they actually did that.
Yeah.
So that people weren't lost on some of the story.
We have to consider between expansions have passed 2 years, and those who had played from the beginning probably they didn't remember.
Exactly. Actually, you have some people that literally have been playing since 1.0. So that's like 10, 12 years or something.
That's crazy.
And now that you brought that topic, I think they wanted to. Maybe I made this shit up. And maybe they wanted to represent the expansions in this story. For example, LPs would be Shadowbringers. All the part of Vanaspati with Estinen and Vitra would be Heavensward. All the thing in Garlemald will be Stormblood. But maybe it's the impression they gave me. They wanted to put the standards of each expansion in this one. So it's the end.
It could be. Yeah, I mean, they really try to do the theme of like having each expansion being relevant on the last one, like on the music, and for example, or like on any other things. They try to make like a piece for every expansion. So I feel like that is actually true. Like I will say, you're not necessarily wrong. I think that's basically what they were trying to.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. I didn't think of it like that, to be fair, but yeah, that's actually
like it did. Like it really did feel like, in general, Endwalker was tying up a bunch of different like plot points and loose ends.
Yes, which some people are criticizing it for. It's like, oh, Endwalker is only good because it relies on the previous expansions of World Bestie. It's like saying the season finale of a series relies on watching the previous episode. Well, no shit.
I feel like they said from the minute it was announced that it was wrapping up everything that we have experienced so far.
Yeah.
So for them people to be like, oh, but it's not great as a standalone expansion. No, bestie, it fucking wouldn't be, would it?
None of them are meant to be standalone.
Like, exactly, but I mean, you can experience Shadowbringers and like not totally know what's going on and still enjoy it. I feel like Heavensward.
Like...
Heavensward is not like that at all. You definitely need to have experienced the Crystal Braves thing and all of that, because obviously you're exiled, and if you just pick up from Heavensward, you're like, why are we exiled? What is the tea? Where are the scions? Why do I have this moaning child with me? And this useless Lalafell woman, like...
Yeah, why am defending this Lalafell in a trial? What is going on? Why
she's been accused of stealing, leave her to die. Like, why are we defending her? But and Stormblood, there wasn't a lot of exposition before Stormblood, I feel like. Like, obviously you had the whole Shinryu Omega thing, which was only really relevant at the end.
Yeah.
The rest of it is literally Empire shows up, kills everyone, and then you spend the rest of the expansion gathering forces to then stamp on the Empire.
It's just Empire bad, Resistance good, but like they kind of make that point a little bit throughout all of the expansions beforehand. It's just that they're really hammering it home now.
The problem is in Stormblood that they make it to make Al Amigo look important, and let's start in Giravania, and then you go to the east, the far east, and then when they tell you, oh, we have to go back to Al Amigo, oh, that place exists. It's like you make this part of the fairy so good that you make me forget about the Giravania, that place. Okay.
I stopped playing a game for 5 months because I didn't want to do anything in Alamigo.
Yeah, that happened to us. Like we kind of stopped playing because of Stormball. Like the pacing was just not very good. I don't know. We eventually got back to it.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we had to. The problem is, unfortunately, Alamigo.
Unfortunately, Alamigo. For me, the part that I was not expecting at all was when they literally fucking pull Zodiac as the first trial. I was like, wait.
Yes.
I was like, this is
me too.
This is level 83. Why am I fighting Zodiac? And I was like, what is going on?
The thing was, okay, I'm already facing Zodiac. Then what next?
Right?
I was like, I'm at level 83 and already facing Zodiac. What the fuck is going on?
I kind of guessed. I think Lambda was the one that, because in Heavensward we fight fucking Nidhogg in the Aerie.
You straight up fight Nidhogg 40% of the way through the story.
Yeah, and I was like, I know for a fact Zodiac is not going to be the final boss. Like, I just know for a fact he's not going to be.
Like not the final, but like in the end.
No, I didn't
like a
even,
Heidelin or...
because I was like, Zodiac is not the one that's causing the final days, right?
Yeah.
Like, we knew that Zodiac stopped the final days, and yet what's his face was trying to recreate it. So I was in my head, I was like, well, he's gonna have to try and kill Zodiac, right? Because Zodiac is the one that's stopping it, and it's still alive. So, like, he's gonna have to. To be fair, I thought Fandaniel was gonna be one of the final, one of the final bosses. I was not surprised at Zodiac, and I did kind of think that Xenos was going to be Zodiac, and then we would fight Zodiac, and then Xenos would have his, like, I don't know, would do his thing or whatever, I don't know. I actually, to be fair, I thought it might have been a dungeon trial combo where...
Yeah, maybe something like that, yeah.
We went through a dungeon, fought Xenos, and then he fell into the pit. Obviously, we didn't know it was a pit at the time, but I was like, he might then turn into Zodiac, and then we would fight Zodiac, but we would fight, what's his face? I can't remember his name now. Xenos. No, Xenos, but because he, like, loves to absorb all the fucking ether and shit, doesn't he? Like, he nom-noms it, so...
I just imagined him absorbing it like Kirby now.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I felt like I was not sure if we were gonna fight Xenos as a trial, because I was like, if we fight Xenos, I feel like it's gonna be like a human version of Xenos, because I think that's what people wanted the most. I don't think people wanted to fight like a transformed Xenos. I feel like people wanted to fight like Xenos. Maybe not one-on-one necessarily, which, fuck yeah, thank god it was a one-on-one. But a human version of Xenos, maybe like a trial of Xenos. But I was like, okay, we got Zodiac, the next one is gonna be maybe Heidelin, and the last one, the fuck is it gonna be? Like, the only trial that I was 100% sure that was happening, so we were gonna beat up Heidelin one way or another.
Yes.
I feel like that one was like 100%.
I was always a bit iffy on that, but then obviously I got spoiled.
Oh yes, I got fucking
about the
spoiled
trial,
too.
So I found out what the second trial was before we were even remotely close. But as soon as we were in Elpis, I was like, this bitch is going to be the final boss. So there's no way.
I was not sure if Heidelin was the third trial or the second one, so at least I was not sure when it was going to happen. But I saw like a thumbnail of someone on YouTube being an asshole, so that kind of happened to me. But to be fair, I kind of expected to fight Heidelin at some point, but I didn't know how she was going to look like, so I guess that kind of for me. But yeah. Also, the other thing, I guess, not as big, my thing was, they really put the fucking... How was this bitch called?
Which one?
The one on the level 89 dungeon.
Which
Oh, Livia.
Phyllis.
Oh, the
you mean the Imperials? Livia.
the Imperial guy.
Not Livia, the other guy.
Rithalstein
Yeah,
or something like that was called. Rithalstein.
I don't know, but
it's a raw name. It's a raw name.
the trial guy, right? The Realm
Yes.
Reborn trial guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Cape Westwind guy.
The Cape Westwind guy.
Yeah, Rithalstein.
Remember when I was like, "Hey, what if it's the Cape Westwind guy?" And then
yes. And we were
I actually have that clipped on my channel, by the way. Like, because
That
I
was
thought
so funny.
Like, hey, what if it's the Cape Westwind guy? And then, whoop, there he is.
I cannot believe.
that.
Because I remember apparently they said, "Oh, we're gonna change Cape Westwind a little bit on," and I thought they were gonna change the trial
Cape
itself to make it harder, but no, they just fucking.
Let's make another like a mini boss in this dungeon again.
Yes.
This is that should Rithalstein must be.
That was so funny. I love that. But yeah, I think I wasn't expecting to fight Solid and Selena. That really caught me off guard. Like, now that I think about it, I guess it was not that. I guess in retrospect, it's not that hard of a twist, but I think it was kind of hard to predict at level 83 I was gonna fight his ass. I think.
Yeah.
Yes, no so soon is the point.
Exactly. Alright, so the thing I want to talk now, basically, it's gonna be the middle part of the game. It's the dungeons. So,
oh my god.
What do you guys think of the dungeons?
Well, I just want to say that when we went into the Tower of Zod, and I was like, and we were like, everything's fine, guys, and everything was not fine. Baron pulled wall to wall on the first pull.
Oh
and
my god.
We got fucking annihilated. And I was like, what
In that
the
one we
actual
make
fuck?
it
was the second one, wasn't it?
Yeah, was in the middle one. There was like the big, like what there was a mob. There is like the final boss of Castrumavania.
Yeah.
That is when we get fucking wrecked, and I was okay. I'm gonna trust it. We can do this, and then no, we cannot do this.
Yeah, and then Siren was like, all I'm doing is healing, and it's not good enough. And I was like, oh my god.
We were like,
I'm a robot. I'm only here.
We were like minimum item level, and that was fucking me over because holy
honestly.
shit.
At no point do I recall saying anything was gonna be fine, but okay.
Well, I think because there was a lot of like I actually loved the dungeons. Tower of Zot is one of my favorite. I like the Mega Sisters. I'm a bit disappointed they were in the first dungeon and they were not really relevant at all, but
yeah,
that's just something, that happens, I guess. And then the music, the dungeon music, I think is just absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think my favorite dungeon is Fanasparty, and I think solely for the music.
The music in Fanasparty is amazing.
Yeah, I think it's the best. But I just every time we got to the dungeon and we were like, okay guys, are we ready to fucking die? It's like they really didn't fuck about, and I'm glad that they didn't, because I was a bit worried with the stat squish that they were going to that they were gonna like the dungeons were going to be easier, because obviously we did less damage and they have less health and all that stuff.
I was worried about that too. Like, I was like, oh, we're gonna do dungeons and it's gonna be like a fucking joke. Like, honestly, when I entered Towers, I was expecting to like a fucking joke, and then holy shit.
And it just was not.
I kind of felt like it was actually gonna get harder once the stat squish happened, because like do the enemies have less health? Yes, but we deal less damage, and it's gonna be like doing Shadowbringers for the first time, isn't it?
Yeah,
True.
but I also felt like the bosses were gonna be easier, and they went ham on the bosses, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting the bosses to be like your usual shit, where like you just kind of dodge the AoEs and move on a little bit, and the Magus sister was like, holy fuck, okay, they're really going ham here, which it's basically a big Bossia exam. I feel like anyone that has not done Bossia before Endwalker, they wipe on the dungeons.
Yeah,
Like-
I watched some streamers play it, like you know the ones who like WoW veterans and stuff who
Yeah,
like barely played any content in 14 aside from the story because they just want to get to Endwalker.
yeah.
And I watched some streamers do the Mega Sisters, and they were like, "What the actual fuck is going on?" Like one guy was like literally screaming. He was like, "Why?" I think he was playing like a black mage or a red mage, like something that required you, like a caster or a healer or something, something that required you to stand still to do anything. And he's like, "Why can't I stand still?" and I'm like, "Girl, this is
I am
Bossia."
so sorry, bestie.
Yeah.
Have you ever done the Bosnian Southern front at all?
Exactly.
I feel like I was not disappointed by any of the dungeons this expansion, whereas other expansions there's always been like that one or two where I absolutely dread doing for many like various reasons. Like there's that one in Shadowbringers like that we did with you and Lambda, and I think Lambda died and I rezzed her in 0.1 seconds because I knew
Yeah, Malik as well.
like I was like, oh, everyone dies here, like everyone dies, and then the last boss where it was like that, it corners off, it just that reflection thing, and I was like, everyone's gonna die here. Yeah, Malik as well. I hate doing that dungeon. I hate it. And then
I agree. Like, I feel like I like every single dungeon of Endwalker, whereas even on Shadowbringers, there's like a couple of dungeons where I just don't like. Like, Homestead Switch is cool. But then the one from the Racked whatever, that one is...
the Kitana Ravel.
The
Kitana Ravel, yeah.
That one is not like bad, but it's super forgettable to me. Like, then the other one is horrendous. And the one from Ilmeg, it's alright.
I actually really hate Don Meg. I hate it.
Don Meg is kind of like... It comes and goes. Like, none of the Shadowbringers dungeons, like... They were fun. The first... Well, fun. Yeah. Were cool the first time. But after that, I'm kind of like, whatever. Whereas the Endwalker dungeons... I fucking love every single one of them. Like, I will redo them again. Yeah. The one from Elpis as well is super cool. Like, I don't mind doing them as many times as necessary. My favorite one is the Dead Ends. Definitely.
The thing with Dead Ends is I feel like it's a good dungeon, yes it is. But what I feel is, okay, they didn't want it to risk, so let's do an Amarot again. But it's just instead of a Metzelk is Meteor narrative, and instead of explaining the final days, is explaining the final days of other stars. They didn't want to risk. They just make a copy paste of Amarot, in my opinion.
I can see that. I can see that. I just from I like Dead Ends because I like the environment, and I think the bosses are fun. They're cool.
Yeah. For example, the last zone is fucking precious.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
All in gold, in.
Like, I just like the variety of environments on that place, and the bosses are like cool, and it's also like not too long, so you can kind of like do it casually and have some fun with it. Like, it's not a dungeon that is gonna drag you for a while. For example, as opposed to, for example, the one with the Omega robots, which it's not about dungeon. I love it, but sometimes I'm kind of like, ugh, I want to get out of here.
Yeah.
Like
they try to do like a training, and that's it. They try to make a training again.
Exactly, like the Neo Mega one. I don't know the name right now. The whatever fucking scape.
Sigma Scape or something like that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Sigma Dreamscape.
The Sigma
Dreamscape.
Dreamscape.
That's it.
It's like the bosses of that one. They just they take too long and they annoy me.
Like, the chicken tenders have been ready to fry for 10 minutes, and I think they need to fry. I think they need to go in the oil now.
Yeah, like it's not a bad dungeon, but if I have to pick my least favorite one, is that one. Not necessarily bad, but from all the good ones, I think I will go with that one.
I think my favorite would be a Smileton.
No. No.
Mine would be a Smileton because the conversation with the Loporis, the bosses are funny. I mean, they try to the bosses are like ingenious in the mechanics, or the face. Okay, you have to be the color, but you need to get pushed, and in the line you die. Then the middle boss is the guy who jumps to direction, and then you have to watch out the robots in which direction they are going to jump as well. So they make it, and then the big cheese. So in my opinion, they were really interesting mechanics for just dungeons.
Yo, the music though.
The music,
and the music is amazing. The Carrots of Happiness is a really cool
That's
song.
such a good song. I love Smileton, yeah. I still like the other ones better, but Smileton it's a pretty cool. The music is pretty sick as well.
Yeah.
Also,
the second boss looks cool. Yeah, go ahead.
No, sorry. I just want to say that I really, in the story ones, like for the two ones, the Tower of Sot and the Tower of Babel, they wanted to say, okay, this is a little bit inspired in Final Fantasy IV, so let's put more tributes about it. So, for example, in Sot, in Sot in 4, you face the Magus sisters, so you face there the Magus sisters. Then in the Tower of Babel, you face Dr. Lugai, and someone that doesn't play 4 can say, oh, it's a random scientific of Carlemal and Breakup. And no, it's Barnabas and Lugai are bosses from 4 as well, and I really appreciate those details.
Mm-hmm.
Because you face them in the Tower of Babel is also in 4.
Oh,
you
the
face
Tower of Babel?
Yeah.
Yes, not that tetric monstrosity that put it in 4, but yes, Babel appears in 4.
Oh.
And Lugai and Barnabas are bosses from that place.
Oh, that one I have no idea. Never played from. That's pretty cool. I also really like Animas.
Yeah, can we talk about that and how like they threw it at us so soon?
Yes.
Honestly, I was not expecting it to be a trial, so like that didn't caught me off guard. But I didn't know. I kind of was not sure where they're gonna put Anima in us. I was thinking it could even be a solo view at some point. I was like, nah, they're not gonna do that. So I guess the dungeon is the best course of action. But I was like 100% sure it was not gonna be a trial. Mechanically, Anima also be playing even for a dungeon. It was not too hard, yeah. It's not. It was fun, but it's not hard.
But it was just visually really fucking cool.
Yeah. It's a fun boss.
No, it was. Never mind. It was dumb.
Ah, say it. Come on.
We still haven't answered the like. It's again. Anima is Varus.
Oh.
And all of and like all of his different parts were like in the towers.
Of course.
So we still never got the answer of which tower was his dick in.
I don't think we'll ever get that.
I don't think we're ever going to get that answer.
I'm not in a rush to know it.
I know, but it's an important question.
Well, thankfully
let's say there are some questions that are better than answered, and I think that one is one of those.
Yes.
That we will never know. I will like.
I want to believe it ended up in Alamiko, but you know.
Oh. Yes, of course. I would like them to make like anime like an extreme fight, like the same way they did with, or maybe Xenos.
Memoria Miss.
Yeah, Memoria Misera.
Memoria Mi. That was born from a Solar Duty.
Yeah, so I was thinking either Xenos or Animal having like a cool extreme adaptation of the.
Yeah.
I would like that a lot. Still, because I know some people like Faron were like, oh man, that's gonna be it for anime. I wanted to like fight more of it. Like they could do that. I think that would.
Yeah.
What was your? I know we said like all the dungeons were great, but if you had to pick one that was the worst, what would you pick?
For me, is the Omega Sigma Cave.
As in the story ones, not the.
Oh, the story ones.
Yeah, sorry, I should have said. Yeah.
Honestly, probably Tower of Babel, not because of it's bad, but if I have to pick one, it's because it was not that hard, I guess, and anime was kind of easy, but I still really like it. But like, I'm saying that for saying one of them, as in like they're basically all in the same level, and then I have Tower of Babel like a little bit under, but it's still good. Like, it's least favorite, like quote unquote. I still think it's really cool, but
I'd also say Tower of Babel because all the other dungeons, they're like consistently good. Like Za is like, you know, it's fun. Vanaspati, everything's on fucking fire and the music is vibing. The Katis.
Hyperbole.
Katisis. I did it. Katisis. Ketosis is like it's like consistently fun. A telescope is consistently fun, and I get to see Holshifat, and that makes me sad. And Dead Ends is fun, but I am getting a little bit tired of getting it in an expert roulette.
Yes.
So out of all of them, Tower of Babel is the one I would say I don't like the most, simply because one, you have to go through oops all Imperials, and like the dungeon structure is kind of not anything spectacular. The environment isn't anything spectacular until you get closer to Anima.
Yeah.
In which case, there's just centipedes everywhere.
Yeah, like the pacing is like the problem I have with that dungeon is the pacing. The final boss is not that hard. But
what's the
best dungeon boss? Honestly, the one from Vanaspati, the last one, I think that one's cool as fuck. The first how was it called? The first Calamity. No, it was not Calamity, but like the first.
The first Doom.
The first Doom. There you go. There. I think that one is the best dungeon boss, because Amon is kind of fucking dry. Amon is more like for show. It's kind of cool, but.
And the Shiva moment.
The Shiva moment is pretty cool.
Yeah, the Shiva moment is really good, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But like, I'd say like the one I really liked was the first Beast Run 2, exactly. I think that one when we were doing it, we were like, oh shit, that's pretty fucking cool. Like, I really like that. The meteor part, like, that boss was really fucking cool. I think that's my favorite from the overall from the dungeons. All right. Anything else we're leaving on the?
I like every boss in Dead Ends.
Me too.
Because like you're seeing how all of the civilizations collapsed, and then you have the end where it's just what the fuck happened here? Oh, we achieved eternal happiness.
Just wanna die.
Yeah,
There's no point in living anymore. We're too happy. Die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like
I
the
would say
tension of the battle thing.
I would say mechanically wise, my favorite final dungeon boss from this expansion, I think, will be Hermes.
Yeah.
Hermes.
Hermes, yeah. I like Hermes.
Also, Farron, if there's like a dungeon boss that you like that isn't the final one, you can also include that. Like, it doesn't have to be the final one. If there's like a first boss from a dungeon that you like more than the final ones, you can.
I mean, but in some ways I cannot be objective. For example, I like the first boss of Kittisis, but it's because that boss appeared in 12s, right?
Yes.
Yeah, in Kittisis I like the two bosses, the first one and the last one. The middle one is meh, my opinion.
Seiren.
Yeah.
Not so any dungeon ever. What is your least favorite dungeon?
From any are you asking me
It
that
has to
question
be.
because of yesterday?
Yeah.
Well, it's that one. Oh my god.
Tamtara Deepcroft Hard.
I never. It's guys, how I have dungeons that I have never done in my life.
So that one is one of
That
them.
one was one of them, and Crum was like, "Hey, do you wanna do a roulette?" And I'm like, "Sure." And I got that one, and I was like, "Oh shit, I have never done this one before." Yes, Tantara has a hard mode.
You should do it. You should do it as Sans. You should do it.
Yeah.
Also,
Yes,
if you are
there's
into
that.
the
We wiped-
Palace of the Dead Lord, you're gonna like it.
Yes.
We wiped 5 times the first boss.
Yeah, the bosses there has like mechanics that,
And then-
if you don't do it, you die.
Yeah, it's basically like, unlike all the other hard mode dungeons, you can pretty much breeze through them and be fine. This one, no, it like these things happened, and I was like, why are we dead? And then it's like, why are we dead again? And it's
What
like,
is happening?
Why do we keep wiping? And I just googled it, and I was like, right, the wiki says this. And then we tried to do what the wiki said, and we died. And I was like, well, I don't understand why we keep dying.
We just kind of like eventually did enough damage to kill it before the next
Yeah.
mechanic came in, and we're like, okay, fuck it, let's just keep going.
And then we were like walking along. And I was like, why is there a child here?
I wish I was the holy shit.
Oh god,
Yeah.
it's just it was just unexpected. Otherwise, we'll have told you guys to do it, but it was just like our normal ass roulette.
Can I answer the question, and can my answer be the fucking lost city of Amdapur?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, okay, in your case, I can understand.
That one goes right after because of fucking
Yeah,
Diablo.
in your case, it's reaching the stalking.
Yes,
That would
it's,
that to you.
it's fucking annoying. All right,
No,
so
but mechanically it is Ormvale. It would be Orm. Like,
yeah,
Yes.
Amdapur, I can do it, but like, I just don't like that. The 50, 60, 70, 80 roulette has just become anything else or Amdapur.
I'm the poor roulette. Yeah, I'm the poor roulette. Okay, so we're gonna do the exact same thing, but with the trials. This time we only have 3 trials to choose, but what do you guys think of the trials?
I was not a fan of Heidelin.
Oh.
I liked it, but in the first part of the fight, we already knew some of the mechanics because it was just a rehash from the fight we did. Right? Like the weapon changing thing, and then the mechanics that then followed the weapon change, because she's already done it on us. And I was a bit like, yeah, in a solo duty, and I was a bit like, okay, well, that's a little bit annoying, but it's like, okay. I would say the Heidelin trial for me made up for it with the so what Trelane just said, what made up for me was that you could do it in trust. Yeah. And I thought that was very cool, and also The extreme version. The extreme version was a lot of fun. And I really liked it, and I think that's made up for me.
You guys give me 2 minutes, I have to be right back.
Okay. Don't worry.
I liked Zodiac.
I love Soul.
I did like it. I would say normal version, it would go Heidelin last. Like, if I was to do it, so if the trust wasn't there, it would go, because Heidelin's the only one that you can do trust with, right? So like, you can't really compare it to other trials with the same thing, because you can't do other trials with trust.
Yeah,
but like,
doesn't have an extreme yet as well.
Exactly, yeah. But like, normal version, I would say Heidelin, Zodiac, and then Endsinger, whatever that one's called.
The Endsinger or the final day.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite.
For normals, that's my favorite as well. I really want to know how that was gonna be.
Final days is just the freaking music, just a fucking mashup of all the final bosses of the East.
And then the whole, like, you know, tank thing, and then obviously she just does it again, and then like, your friends save you, and I just love that. I'm like, oh my god, this is just everything I wanted in like, this is just everything I've ever wanted. And then you basically like kick her ass, and I'm like, yes, kill the bird bitch. Like, I'm just so here for it.
It is so fucking cool. Like, it is very fucking anime, as some people would say, but it's really fucking fun.
The power of friendship, like,
Friends.
I am so here for it. I'm like, yes, besties, protect me.
Yes. Like, it is very fucking cheesy, but it's funny, and like, that is one my favorite.
Protect me anyway.
But it's not just, well, I mean, yes, but not just him, but like, they do it really well. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know, like, it's not completely like, you know, like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
It's not Kingdom Hearts, or it's not some fucking anime that, you know, is like, everyone's dead and like one friend is alive, and suddenly through the power of like Persona, you know, where power of friendship, and it's just like, you're all dumb shits, like, leave me alone.
You're all literally children.
Yeah, fuck off. Whereas, like, I don't know, I feel like they do this really well, in my opinion. But yeah, that's the thing for me.
For me, normals will be the Endsinger first, then Zodiac, and then Heidel. Heidel was so fucking annoying on normal when I did it for the first time. I was fucking hating. I was like, what is the fucking waves, and we wipe like, well, they didn't wipe up. I died like 5 times because I kept getting revived, and I didn't understand the words. So like, fuck this shit. We basically hit because there was no one raid, so we managed to fucking beat it. I was like, holy fuck, that was horrendous. I appreciate Heidelin Extreme way more, but my favorite Extreme is Zodiac because of the fucking memes of the spinning. That shit's so funny.
Darren, are you saying Zodiac is your favorite Extreme because you genuinely enjoy it? Or are you saying it's your favorite Extreme because you've been huffing copium for like 3 weeks?
I mean,
you're going through withdrawal symptoms now.
But for me to be on that copium, I need to enjoy the trial itself, right? So like, I got the mount and I cleared it like 99 times.
What about Heidelin? Have you been on the copium enough to enjoy it?
No, like the Heidelin one, it was nowhere near as interesting as the Soldier one. Like, I have 99 totems on Heidelin, but I fucking hate it. But the Soldier one, at least I have fun. Like, the fucking spinning thing is really fun. The guy is so fucking, like, I cannot take Soldier seriously. That voice.
Zodiac is a massive ham.
Yeah, like, it's the whole trial is just really funny to me, like, because it's really serious but at the same time hilarious with this fucker talking shit like that, and I remember every single fucking quote because of how funny the whole thing is to me. And then the spinning table, the fucking memes on Twitter, like I don't know, I just love it. I think it's my favorite trial of all time because like from the game in general, I cannot think of a trial right now that I like more than Soldier. Maybe there's one, but right now I cannot think of one that I like.
Zodiac posting is the best thing to come out of that trial.
Exactly. Like I'm so here. However, I don't know what they're gonna do with Endsinger, but Endsinger could take the spot of Soldier on Extreme. And what they do, because I really like Endsinger on normal, so I am really looking forward to this. Like I'm gonna be Endsinger as
in Extreme, in the final bosses, they change a lot of stuff. For example, you remember Shinryu, and you go to platform and all that stuff, like Shadowbringers, that is Hades, and all the fucking Asians stuff.
Yes. Like I really
they change a lot, so I wanna see what they're going to do with the final day, because I don't know what the fuck they're going to pull.
I don't know why, but I really like it. I don't know if it's gonna take Zodiac's spot, but it has a very big chance of doing it. Depends on how they do it.
I can't wait for Endsinger EX to be just fucking Depression EX.
I want them to make it like really hard though. I would honestly, I would like it to be a Savage himself on Extreme because it's the Endsinger. I think it deserves like a really hard Extreme.
I mean, in normal was already a little bit problematic because of the freaking snapshots of the fucking planets.
Yeah, like I really want Endsinger to be hard because I feel like it should be really, really hard because of the status. It's basically a fucking god of the edge of the universe. Like it should be like some hard shit. So I hope they make it really, really hard. And it would be kind of sad if it's like easier than Highland and Zodiac. The Endsinger EX incorporates Xenos. Oh my god, Phase 2, yes. Xenos has Phase 3.
Xenos Phase 2.
Like imagine that like you beat up the Endsinger and then you need to beat up Xenos after that.
I mean, you're on Xenos in that fight. It's just
but like imagine after you beat up the Endsinger, Xenos literally just throws you off.
Yeah, that is what I was going to say. That suddenly they drops you off and okay, you kill this bitch, now you face me.
Yes, I will love that.
So why do I hear Worm's Tail again?
Yes, that will be great. I will love that. I don't know if they're gonna do that, but that will be fun. Which one will be your Lambda?
I'd have to say like in terms of like, let me just get I would get the extreme one out of the way because this is the shorter answer. I like the Zodiac EX more than Heidelin EX, if only because every time I do the mechanics in Heidelin EX, I don't feel like I want to cry. or every time I do the mechanics in Zodiac EX, I don't feel like I want to cry. The ones in Heidelin is just, I think I've just had too many bad experiences with it for it to be like my favorite one.
Yeah.
In terms of normals, so the Dark Inside and like the Endsinger, both of those are like basically on the same list. Zodiac is a little bit above that, if only because I have some I have a lot of personal shit, and it's the same reason why the Mother Crystal isn't my favorite. I have a lot of personal shit in regards to like the story and like the power of friendship. Like everyone is freaking the fuck out about Heidelin normal because you can do that with the trust system, and I specifically don't want to do it with the trust system, if for no other reason than like, I guess story reasons for my role and stuff.
That makes sense.
Because it's like, you're fighting them with the power of your friends, But what happens if your wall doesn't consider the Scions their friends?
You're fucked, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Did
Yeah,
you
that's
rate
how-
Curious
yours?
thing about that.
Farron, do you say? Oh yeah. Did you?
What
Which
know,
rounds?
I think I didn't, but yeah, I think I shared the same with you. I think my favorite will be Final Days, then Zodiac, and then Hydaelyn. But in normals and extremes, honestly, I like both of them in equal measure. I really like the both of them. And really, a really interesting thing that I didn't notice until recently. Imagine you're a healer and you want to do the trust system. What the fuck Urianger does? But apparently Urianger can turn to DPS.
Yes, he has got a DPS job. It's called Ursats actually knows the answer to this because he told me the other day. It's like a Geomancer type role. Like it's not Geomancer, but it's like Lithomancer, that's it. And apparently Litho is rock.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Urianger
Yeah,
doesn't
I found that
just
really
throw
interesting.
cards. He doesn't just throw the cards.
I guess not.
He doesn't just challenge Hydaelyn to a duel.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
I guess not.
Exactly.
Okay, so now we're gonna head to the last part of the content, which I guess it's good that we delayed it a little bit because we want to cover this one, and is your boy Mr. Dracula's Castle Adventure. The raids, the first tier of Pandemonium raid.
I don't like them.
So, yeah. Okay, well, that was fast. All right, so
I think it's because Eden was my first. Like I did Omega and I did Alexander, but they're just like whatever, right? Like, what? By the time that we were doing them, like Eden 8 was already out, so like, you know, so like doing the previous ones was just whatever because of level sync, right? And like and how the eye level worked. I just loved Eden. I don't know. I like every single Eden fight. I just absolutely loved them. The music was, I fucking absolutely loved every single bit of music. I loved the fights. I liked the story. I just like everything about it. This one, so like in Eden E1, for example, like you have that whole space mechanic thingy, don't you? Like you go into space and like you do the whole thing of like, obviously it's from, I think it's from, is it from 8?
It's a summon from 8. It's like a summon attack from 8.
Yeah. So like
recreation.
Like I'm not an 8 fanboy.
Yeah, 8
I've
is
actually...
Eden in 8 is the summons there are called like Guardian Forces, and Eden was one.
Alright, so like I've never played 8. So
Me neither. I googled that and I found it on the wiki, so don't worry. I just I have no idea either.
I was definitely like, the fight itself was actually like, I did it for the first time with Farron and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? This one, I was like P1, I was like, this is shit. Like, and I'm not even, and it's like, I'm not even here for the story either. Whereas like, I like the story of Eden. Like, I like Gaia and Reen and like, you know, Thancred and Urianger and all that. Like, I just loved it. And I think I was spoiled by Eden because Pandemonium so far is just not the tea for me. I hope it gets better because, like, and even like the Savage fights, they're not. I don't know.
I was gonna point out, like, is it fair though to compare like a finish rate, like 12 raids, like only the first part? So like,
well,
yeah, I was gonna say like, if you cut, because I don't think on the first part you even get to see Gaia. So you will have, for example,
No,
to take
Gaia appears. Well, you see Gaia, but it's in the armor, and it's like
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh
you
yeah.
don't meet Gaia herself until the second.
So there's a lot of
That's
narrative
very-
there that is missing. So like, if
That's
you
very true.
take that out, you kind of, I feel like we'll have to take that part of the equation as well to compare.
Well, I mean, even the fights themselves.
Even then,
like,
still, yeah.
I don't like. I'm just like. So if you compare E1 to P1, I would totally do E1 every time.
Yes.
Without a question. What was E2 again? Was it?
Was the guy? Well, the guy in an armor that was in your.
Oh, on the roof,
on
right?
Yeah, in the roof.
Yeah, so I loved that too. But hippocampus or whatever.
Hippocampus, yes.
Why am I fighting this hippo, and why am I in a sewer? Like, the fight itself is not even. I don't know. I'm
relevant.
Just a bit like I don't. But even like relevancy aside, I don't know. Just something just doesn't sit right with me. It's like, okay, so I'm sitting here fighting a hippo. Like, well, it's like yeah. I don't like the music. Like, the music isn't really a vibe with me. Especially in P4, where it sounds like, I think Sarah said this the other day. I fucking feel like I'm in the fucking mystery machine running away from some masked demon or something. Like, I'm like, what?
You're basically
what is
Freddy.
this? Yeah, like, I'm just like, oh, like, okay, great. And P3 is just, it's so weird. Like P1 and P2, like P2 is a little bit tough.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like stupid at times, but it's like okay. And then you get like, and then Phoenix, which I think is a stupid fucking name.
It's a phoenix, but it's not a phoenix.
Yeah, but like,
make a phoenix, but it's not a phoenix. Okay, just put a fucking eye in the middle.
Okay, well, that's stupid.
Fuck a fucking eye. Yeah,
like,
it's stupid.
and then I was like, okay, well, this isn't gonna be like the first two. Like, one was piss easy, and two was like, okay, whatever. Then I have raw anal sex with a bird, and I'm like, yes. What is going on here? And I was like, okay, well, fuck. And then do you remember that our first clear was when Saren had to go AFK, and we just had a fucking scholar.
Oh my god, he just...
Poor guy, he was so... He must have been so stressed.
I remember that.
You know, like a fucking champ.
And I was just like,
I am so sorry.
But even if you had have been there, I still would have been like, why is this bird sticking its beak raw into my body? Like, I don't understand. And then it's like, oh, okay, here comes Dracula again, and then. Yeah. And then we fight Dracula, and I'm like, this is shit. This is so shit. And like, what was E4? Was it
Titan?
Titan.
Yeah,
Titan.
Titan is good. Titan is good, man. And then so I go from fighting Titan, which has great music, and the fight itself is actually fun, to fighting a budget Dracula with the Scooby-Doo music.
You're fighting an actual Scooby-Doo villain.
Like, I really hope they do something in P5 to 8. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think Ursatz has said it, but like, I want less monsters, because I honestly could not give two flying fucks how many monsters you have in this building and why they're here and now they're all out on the loose. Like, I actually don't care. Just give me some good shit. Give me why I'm not here because you've got Hippo Krampus and Phoenix. hiding out around. I'm here because Laha Brea has been teased. Give me
Yeah.
what I want.
But, Graham, the entirety of Pandemonium is all of these strong creatures, and we need your help in order to make them calm down.
Yeah,
From a design perspective, like story-wise, I'm kind of like whatever in the story so far. Like, they have not introduced enough narrative for me to be like super into it. I want to know more because it's still fucking Elpis, and it's really hard to make Elpis not interesting. So I feel like I am going.
Somehow they're trying.
I feel like I know that oh shit, I didn't change it. Like, I know that the story's gonna be interesting, but I guess not yet. Like, I am pretty sure that the other tiers and the La Habra thing is gonna be cool. Like, I am very convinced that the story's gonna get better because there's no way it's not, because it's fucking LP shit. So like,
What?
but so far, I would like to fight a Dracula more. I like the idea, but no.
But also, like,
That mix of
didn't he
Dracula and Persona 5 character.
didn't he KMS at the end?
Yes, it is.
So like, so I'm sitting there going, why do you look like Dracula? And then he's just KMS, and I'm like, I don't. Girl, you haven't like
Because
I've literally
did miss him.
Yeah, but like I've fought your fucking Hippocrumpus and your fucking stupid Phoenix and your shitty ass jailer, which may I say I could have killed with I could have blown on him and man would have died. And to understand what the hell's going on, at least begin to understand like what the hell's going on here. Instead, I get budget ass Dracula that, you know, I would be better off watching Castlevania anime on Netflix if I wanted a Dracula, and you just KMS. Like, come on, you've literally just wasted my time. I don't know. I'm just really not a fan of this tier. I'm just so not a fan so far.
The only reason I like this tier story-wise is Greek names tickle that little part of my brain that lets me tell people about obscure Greek mythology knowledge.
Yes. Like, from a difficulty standpoint, I like the fights. Like,
in Greek mythology, Erictonio is literally a cum stain that Athena wiped off.
wait,
Well, you
really?
can tell by the way he's fucking acting. Jesus.
I'm fucking serious. The
Wow.
god of the forge, Hephaestus, tried to like forge himself onto Athena, and I don't know, he blew his load too early or something, and then so he got a little bit on Athena's leg, and she was like, ew, disgusting, and she wiped it off, and that became Erictonius.
Wow. That is kind of depressing.
Yeah, so when I say Erictonius is literally a cum stain on Athena's leg, I'm fucking serious.
But yeah, I personally like the fights themselves. Like, doing the fights, I think it's cool. I love the fights.
The bites basically ask you, did you do Basha?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's also raises the question: why am I fighting these bitches that are like? I guess at the same time, maybe people want new things that are not necessarily references to something else. But like, Phoenix, at least the Phoenix looks kind of cool. The fucking Hippocampus though, I fucking hate that.
Right.
But
fucking Hippocrumpus out here.
like, for me, I like the tier and I would like to see more of it. But yeah, Eden is a little bit better. But for me, I don't hate this tier at all. I think it's pretty cool. But I mean, I would like to do especially the Dracula Savage. I want to try that one, but I don't know when that's gonna happen. But like the ones I like the most are the first and the fourth one, because the other two I'm like, what? Why the fuck? Like,
yeah,
Hippocampus is absolutely pointless.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go to the Hippocampus anymore, man. Please take me out of here. Like,
right.
Like,
and then they're like, oh, because there's no jailers, the monsters adapt their surroundings to like, you know, to like their strengths. And I was like, okay, so why is the hippocampus in a fucking sewer?
It's like shitting people.
Can't it be, you know, at the sea with the beach? Like, why am I in a fucking sewer fighting a hippo?
If you think of the whole tier as Eric Tonio's Pizzeria.
Yes, it's literally Eric Tonio's Pizzeria.
The first one is the first one is the bathroom. Or no, the second one is the bath. The first one is the pizzeria itself. The second one is the bathroom. The third one is the oven, and the fourth one is the Karen, and the entire rate is customer service.
Yes, basically. Like, I don't know. I have like mixed feelings about it. Like, I like the rates themselves, but the story is a little bit weak so far. But I have the feeling it's gonna pick up later on. I don't think the story is good. I don't think the rating is gonna disappoint. Yeah. Like, it's the fucking Elidibus and La Habrea. You cannot fuck this up.
I just want to see La Habrea. I just want to like that's all I want. I just want La Habrea to make an appearance once. He can be on screen for 0.5 seconds. I don't care. I just want to see the man.
I kind of want to hope he is the Emperor. Like, his big form, we just fight him as the Emperor. That would be kind of cool.
That would be
cool. I know you don't want this, Saren.
Well,
yeah, I just want the NT model just so we can all like be upset at it together.
So we can all cry.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they've done it once, so
why?
Yeah, they'll do it again. They put Hazama back in the basement. They'll do it again.
They've done it with Kefka and fucking Kaldarnus, except I'm not sure.
Oh yeah,
but
Kefka, yeah.
But the Kefka thing is the worst offender, because the Kefka.
What about Exdeath?
That one I have not looked into it too much, but I'm not sure. But I mean, let's assume they did. Probably. The Exdeath one I'm not entirely sure, but the other ones are really fucking obviously did. Okay, Exdeath is original.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
I
So
wanted to say that I think I didn't see my part on this. I think.
Oh yeah, go for it.
I think it's not the best from comparing first tiers of all and story and all everything. Okay, Pandemonium is not my favorite. My favorite, I would say, is Omega one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Omega.
But I'm not in disagree. I'm not in disagree with this approach. Let's say, for example, you guys, you have opinion. The music is Scooby-Doo, and yeah, it's like that. But I fucking love the music. For example, in the final boss, and I like the final boss. The problem is, if they opted for another design for the vampire, I was like, okay, but they make this like mix of Dracula and a character of Persona 5 with the glasses and all that. It's okay. I'm not a very fan of the design of the guy. But yeah, story-wise, I'm with Sarah. I cannot say anything yet because can be really good.
I don't think they can fuck it up.
It's gonna make it interesting because they maybe wonder, but why there is no one here? Why everyone is like all fanboys of La Habrea, and I'm going to kill for my god and savior? What the fuck is going on here? So that part is interesting.
Yeah. They're worshipping La Habrea really hard.
Yeah, what is the name of the workers? Words of La Habrea or something like that. So you see that fucking shippers. There I was like fucking Rahatia with you.
Yes. Yeah, but you see, I have a reason. What's La Habrea done for these people? Nothing.
What if he's hard when we see him? Like, it turns out to be like daddy or something.
You're living a lie. Graha doesn't actually love you.
Like he could, like for all we know,
no,
La Cabre
he
could be
doesn't
like.
love you.
For all we know, La
Well,
Cabre
he-
could be like the hottest man on fucking Elpis.
He doesn't love you either.
That's fine. He doesn't have to.
Also,
So you're basically forcing yourself on him is what's happening.
No, it's just unrequited love then, isn't it?
You're getting cucked.
oh my god. I'll say though, I really like the Scooby-Doo song, as goofy as it is. I like the song. Like, I'm not saying I don't like it, but I really like it, but it's just really goofy. The one I'm not, like, really impressed though is the other one. The other one is...
Yeah, the normal, one of the other three, yeah.
Yeah. It's not a bad song, but I'm not like, wow, what a banger. Right?
Yeah, and it's like, for example, when you're progging and you're hearing that song all the fucking time, it's not bad.
Exactly.
You're getting tired
shit.
easy.
Which song? Which
one from the
you know,
other three rates.
Yeah. The fighting version of the Pandemonium song.
Oh,
like
right.
the first three rates, like the song, it's the same song for the three.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is the same song three times.
Oh my god, no wonder why I fucking hate it. I was like, I've only been doing Phoenix for like, I don't know, well actually it's about 12 fucking hours now, but like, I was like, I hate this song. And then I was sitting there going, actually, I didn't hate the E11 song until like 2.5 months in. So like, why do I hate this song already? Now that's why.
Yeah.
Because I hear it all the time.
Yes.
Holy fuck.
Yes, you get tired of that song easy.
Because when you were saying like one of the other three, and I was like, yeah, which one?
Yeah, no,
Which one of the three? And then when you were like the same one, it's like, oh, that now everything makes sense.
Also, one thing that I forgot to bring up, so I don't forget that point. One little thing that we forgot. Any favorite glamours that you had on the game? That came with the expansion.
That came with the expansion.
Graha's a glamour.
I'm joking. I'm just doing it to be funny.
You cannot
I could say the word. I could say the word, but I know Lambda and Crumbs could kill me.
We know.
No.
Here we go.
It's part of the question. Answer the fucking question.
We know the one for you.
I fucking love the job glamours from Unbreaker, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Especially
the through the last 75% of the fucking quest, you were like, Tataru, give me my fucking coat.
The last 75% of our playthrough, you were like, Tataru, give me the fucking coat.
Yeah, every time Tataru was on screen, you like sprinted up to her, bitch, give me my coat.
You literally picked her up and were like, and started like shaking her. And like,
give me my
coat. And you were just like, give me my fucking coat.
I would say there hasn't been any glams myself that I like.
Jokes aside.
But I loved Alice and Alphino's new look.
Oh, yeah, they look great.
You could steal Alphino's look if you're staged.
Yeah, I know, but I don't really want to. Like, I don't like the concept of like buying Scion's clothes.
Yeah, same. I had the same.
Because I want to be myself. Like, I don't.
Not even Graha's?
Girl, I don't need to wear them when they're on the floor. Just
in your dreams, maybe.
But yeah, like, I don't know, like, I think like I haven't found. I love my Summoner glamour, but that's old. That's like not anything that's new. Because I made that when we obviously before Endwalker came out, but yeah. So I haven't seen any like glams. To be honest, I haven't really looked at the pieces all that much because I just haven't had the time. But like other character wise, I loved Alize and Alphino. I mean, the others didn't really get a fucking change, but I also loved how the Lothrids. I know we kind of knew how they were going to look beforehand, But like, sometimes they show stuff and then the game comes out and it's like, bestie, it's like fucking chalk and cheese. Like this, you didn't fucking do anything. Actually, the summoner gear set. I think I remember I said I did actually like it.
It was the color, I think, that you had an issue.
It was, it was,
color.
which I had to do because you have to do the
role quest,
the role quest, which I haven't. But I mean, I could do and then die and see what it looks like on a guy actually, and then I can use my summoner glam for something else because I don't want to use the same glam for all 3 caster roles because I'm not.
In general, the artifact gear of this expansion is good in general. Overall.
If we don't compare it to other expansions, the artifact gear is pretty good.
I think the Tomestone gear is ugly as shit.
Which one? The one of Final
casting
Fantasy
and
IV,
the healing. I don't know.
Or the Radiant one.
The green thing.
The green thing. The 4 one.
It's
the Rydia. It's the outfit of Rydia.
Yeah, well, Rydia can go fuck herself. I'm not wearing your clothes. Like, so when I put it on, I was like, get me out of public right now.
You can dye it,
It's not the color. It's the shape of it. I look like a genie. Someone's gonna rub that bottle, and I'm gonna be like, bye bye into the bottle. 3 wishes, master Teehee. Like, no.
I'm not a fan of that one either. Actually, for me, I'm gonna say it's not the... Well, I guess I'm gonna say the Katisis or whatever. Glamour for both tank and river, which is basically... And the weapons of Tower of Sod. Those are like my 2 favorite.
Oh, the weapons of Towers are actually good. Yeah.
The weapons in general in the dungeons have been good. Any dungeon you look at, the weapons are interesting.
Yeah, I like the Katisis book that Ersatz has. It's trippy, but I actually kind of like it's very different. Like, I always find with like the Summoner and Scholar books, like it's just a book. Like you can change the cover of like the outside of the book, but at the end of the day, like it's just a book. Whereas like the Katisis one is just completely different, and it's like a nice breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it is.
For the books anyway, in my opinion. But yeah.
I'm so sorry. Man.
In my case, the weapons in general in the dungeons are good. All the weapons designs, I think so far in Endwalker are great. Then Tombstone gear, I cannot. Okay, the Aphorisms one is the Final Fantasy IV gear that you can like it or maybe you can have this problem that I can understand. For example, for certain, I know it's from another character, so I don't like it that much. So I can understand that.
It's not like it looks bad, but like I put it on and I know it's from Cecil.
I know it's from Cecil.
Yeah,
I know. I can understand that. And then the one we got from the red ones, the Radiant. For so far, I fucking loving the Radiant gear. I fucking love all I've been so far. The casting one, the healer one, the
Radiant is really good actually. Yeah, I forgot about
the Radiant ones are really good. And as for Delos, when I watched them died, the gear itself, the Asphodelos one, I actually like it when you can dye them.
Can you preview that before you buy them?
Yeah, you can.
Yes, you can. You go to the shop, you go try on, and you can.
Also, I was gonna say, now that you mentioned that up, the katana from Asphodelos, really fucking cool.
Is that from normal or from Savage?
No, from
the weapons is always Savage.
So
the thing, another katana I love is the moon one, the one of the tomes of the fish. That katana is fucking amazing. The katana, the tomes of aphorism, the one you
that was really nice as well. You cannot dye that one, right? I wish you could dye it.
You can dye that.
You can
dye that.
Oh,
I actually liked all of the winter glams that they had on.
Oh yes, the Imperial. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
when
yeah,
we went
those
to
are pretty
Garden
good
Lodge,
as well.
Yeah.
I like all
Really
of them
good.
except Thancred's because Thancred stole my fucking coat.
I also like the warrior weapon because
How
it's a
does it
pizza
feel?
cutter.
How does it feel? I think,
I
yeah.
said
Well,
Thancred stole mine. I swear.
I hope every subsequent expansion, whatever tank you feel like going, Farron, Thancred gets to it first.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know and I hate it.
So the last thing we have is music, which I guess we kind of touch on it with hating on the Pandemonium music, but like, what would be like your favorite song from
Banaspati.
Anaspati?
Actually, I would say Vanaspati and the final boss from the dungeons are my tied 2 favorite songs of the entire expansion.
That one's pretty.
Although the end singer music is also amazing,
Mm-hmm.
and so is Zodiac. Heidelin, I don't know. I was a bit like,
Yeah, I'm talking about like music,
they could
music
win a little
overall.
more epic.
Like it
But
could be
yeah,
location music.
overall, yeah.
It could be like fighting. But if you want to pick like a location or a fight one, that could.
I love the soundtrack for the expansion in general, but if I have to hear answers one more goddamn time,
What is answers?
The one from Heidelin.
Oh yes. Oh, that one. Yeah. I think I also really like Charlian.
The night one especially, I like it with the guitar.
That's the one I've been playing half of the stream, the night Charlian one, because it's pretty chill.
Yeah, like it's like I didn't like Crystarium as a place. I actually really like the music. Was very I want to say loud, but in the terms of like, you know, when I say like, oh, this tweet is loud,
yeah,
it's a similar concept. It's like very in your face, and for a place that like it's got the market board and like, you know, all the other shit in it, and it's like, this is very loud, and I'm not sure if I'd want to chill here. Whereas like Charlian, I am very content to just sit there and listen to the music.
Charlian's music is really nice because there's been a couple of times where I would like, you know, obviously I cook food, and so being in Charlian is like super convenient because I can buy things, sell them, turn them in for shit, and then just vibe. And there's been a couple of instances where I do that until I need to go to sleep, and I literally just move my wool to a bench and go to bed in Charlian.
Oh my!
I literally just sleep on the bench in Charlian because
pulling a John.
Yeah, I literally just pull you on, but
Oh.
there's actually background music.
Nice.
For me, I'm gonna say like I like all the trial songs. For me, even answers. I actually not tired of answers. I love answers, but
I'm tired of answers.
I know. Yes, I am tired of answers. I'd say for me my favorite one is the end singer one and the soldier one. I love both equally. I don't think I can decide. I guess if I have to pick, I could say end singer if we include phase 2. Like if we put phase 1 and phase 2 together, then for me end singer wins. But like,
yes,
I could not decide between end singer phase 1 and soldier. They're both fucking cool.
Do you guys know? What about like? Nobody has said this yet. What about the music in Ultimate Duel?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
No,
yeah.
I can't go back without crying.
I love that song as well.
I love
the
it.
distance, yeah. And I really like what they did. For example, in the when you enter that place, you don't hear the lyrics and all. It's just like a distorted version of the instrumental. And then every time that's someone sacrifices, the music is getting clearer.
Yes, that is
Until
really fucking cool.
And then when Grahati is the last to disappear, then the fucking song starts and you're walking with the twins. All that fucking crystal way to the top, and it's like, and you hearing the whispers, and it's like, holy shit, man.
Yeah, that's fucking good. That's another one of my, like, for chill music, like feels. I have the like, I fucking got the fits and I got something. Am I allowed to put it yet on the World Engine House, or I'm not allowed to put it yet?
Just put it anyway. If someone tries to give you.
I mean, that song appeared in the trailer. In the the early trailer they did before launching an expansion, that song already appeared.
Okay, I'll put it next time. I hope I really like that song, and I farmed the shit out of that one. But like the chill one is that one, and then for like more action stuff is the NSYNC and Zodiac. I also really like the Hydralin one, but the other ones are better.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Zodiac one. Yes, that's his name.
In color.
Yeah.
That's the name of the song.
I like the Zodiac. No, I don't. No, I wasn't looking for the name of the song. I just completely forgot what Zodiac's name was.
The Zodiac one.
I'm fucking sick, guys.
It's okay. We're almost done. I don't want to keep.
No. I don't mind keeping going. It's just that every day somehow I get more physically sick.
It's okay. Well, regardless, we're in our final part, which is, what do you think? What the fuck is gonna happen now? Because I honestly have no idea what the fuck are we gonna do. Because we're just left with a big ass.
I don't know either. I really hope.
I have a feeling. You go first, Farron.
Okay, I really hope they involve the first one way or the other. It's the only thing I want. Okay, it's not like because I don't know either what the fuck is going to happen. Honestly, I don't know. One way or the other, I want the first get involved in this.
I don't think we're going to get the first to begin with. There was like a Twitter post that 14 gave out not too long ago about Cryle having a bigger play in the story, and I think so. Emmett Selk did the whole you haven't seen nearly any part of the world, right? Like you just haven't, so go out and see it. And Cryle is trying to build up the students of Baldessian, and before they got demolished, they were Charlene's contacts, like to go out into the world and find, to build relationships and to do all of that. And that's part of the reasons why we were able to go to Davner in the first place. And I feel like we're gonna do the whole go see Cryle, and she's gonna ask for help on like helping to find people in these places, and that's how we're going to see the world, is through the students of Baldessian. And then after that, don't really know.
That's a good one though.
But I definitely think, because the fact that they were like, Cryle's got a bigger part to play, and her whole thing about, at the end of Endwalker, she was like, I'm going to rebuild the students of Baldessian. And it's like, well, if you're going to have a bigger part in the story, then clearly the students are going to, be a big part. And also before their HQ blew up or got transported or whatever happened to it.
The Isle of Val, that is
the Isle of Val.
That is what is Eureka right now.
Yeah, I know.
Eureka 2, boys, let's go.
Let's go. But yeah, I think they so basically I think we're going to be going out and seeing other parts of the world, through helping Cryle with the students about Essien, and then something is going to go wrong. Like, we're going to stumble across something, and there we go.
You know, that actually sounds like something that could be the trials more than MS.
Oh, maybe.
I feel like that's a good trials material.
But then the trials material could be Garlemald.
True. I don't know
With
what
the
it's.
twins. It could be, what were Urian Jane Thancred doing?
I think they were with the moon, right?
Or the Benuis, and then also the thing with Istinian and Featra. Featra wanted Istinian for some unknown purpose. So, I don't know. I feel like 14 specifically said that Cryo was going to be more involved in MSQ.
Oh, I see. I feel like what's gonna happen is they're gonna give each one a role for content, like maybe like the twins are the trials, Rahati is the Grandia shit, or maybe Estinian, like one of them, or maybe Thancred, I don't know, like, although I guess you could say that Thancred and Uriganja are gonna be the big stripes, Nuis, although I don't know if they will count. So like,
yeah, maybe possibly, yeah.
If they make Raha the relic weapon NPC, I don't think I'll be doing my relics.
Grum's
gonna do all of them.
I think it actually might be, if they were gonna pick anyone, it might be Featra and
both Rabani relic weapons.
Yeah, that might.
Well, I think it might be Mericidia.
Oh, maybe, yeah. I can see.
It might be a way to introduce Mericidia.
I can see.
We see Tiamat again.
Yeah, then we see Tiamat again. Yeah. Because at this point in time, like, we actually don't know what the dragons are up to, and they made a specific point, like when Emmett was like, "You haven't seen Mericidia, you know, like you haven't been here, you haven't." Or did Grahatia say that?
No, Grahatia said that he wanted to go to Corvus. His natural, I think, if I don't remember bad, I think he wanted to go to Corvus again. That is like what's the island who kicked the Guardians away.
Right. Was that where he was from then?
Yeah, Grahatia is from Corvus, and then he moved to Sharlayan.
I don't think they're gonna make Eureka mandatory trading. I think people fucking hate that, but I think there was definitely
gonna be like making Basha mandatory.
I think they'll probably have exclusive dialogue because they've done it before.
Yeah,
so.
They have done that with the MSQ. MSQ has exclusive dialogue depending
I mean, the guy of the Valdesian Annex, the one that gives you aid, here is your room, is I don't know if he's the brother of the cousin or something of the Lalafell of Eureka that is a fucking moron.
Oh god, not that. Oh, I fucking hate that Lalafell. I hate that Lalafell. Yeah, but that's so annoying. Yeah.
For me, I'm not entirely sure what they're gonna do, but I really hope we get something Void related. Like, there's like on Shadowbringers, there's this whole thing about like they want to fix Void, and I don't know when they're gonna open that up. I really hope. Oh my god, can you imagine the 13th shard is the where you go to farm the relic weapons, and it's Void weapons. Oh yes, please. I would love that. And that's not gonna happen, but like I want to believe. I want some. I know if people try to avoid and shit, but since I'm a fucking edgelord, I want more voids and shit because what?
In 2023, we're gonna get an announcement for Final Fantasy XIV Voidwalker.
Yes. Can you imagine? During the Void Quest are a lot of hopes to download to make mandatory. Well,
I mean, they can't. No one can get to the Void.
I'm not saying mandatory, but side content.
Yusola is looking for a way to travel through worlds.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it has to be like doing the role quest mandatory, but I feel like you could just talk to them again without doing the role quest. I mean, you get a role quest, that's an extra thing, but they could just make it like not doing the quest mandatory. But Ghost Kid and the Kid Wizard from the first can open the void. Yeah. So since they can open the void.
Who is Ghost Kid?
I think he's talking about the. Do you know? Remember the kid from the Warring Tribe?
Oh yeah.
That guy.
Yeah,
that guy's supposed to be like a warrior of light from the 13th.
Next to he and Silva.
He's not our shard, but he's a warrior of light from the. He fucked up, right? Like, obviously, make it, but he's like he can open the void with the help of the. Even to be Nilbert shard. That could be. I'm not sure.
I definitely think they will do something with the void, but I feel like that is going to happen when Y'shtola finds a reliable way to teleport.
Probably,
because because Ghost Kid, like if they're going to make that MSQ, Ghost Kid, like the Warring Triad is like not compulsory, so you're going to have this random child turn up and be like, "Hi, I can go into the void," and it's like,
I'm not saying
who are you?
MSQ for side content, like.
Oh right.
Like the relic weapons. Imagine like the relic weapons is the kid sends you to the void, and you're like in a map of the void like Bosia, and you do the relic weapons that are like dark.
So what would the point of going to the void be? Because there's always a point to the relic weapons. It's always like, you know,
the Ghost Kid is trying to restore the 13th shard, like getting the void out. So like,
why is Azat telling me to do the role quests?
because something the Shadow Keeper is also relevant.
Oh my god, are we still going on about the fucking Shadow Keeper?
Like, I don't know, but Urzats will not shut the fuck up until the end of time when we do all the role quests.
I'm not doing the tank role quest because I'm not leveling a tank.
But yeah,
leveling Paladin? What happened to that?
It's level 12 or something.
It's going, just slowly but surely. But yeah, like the ETNS is fun. Fuck you. No. So on Shadowbringers, the kid and like a few people are trying to fix the void to like turn it. It's like basically Shadowbringers, but like the other way around.
It's trying to do the empty, isn't it? They're trying to do what they did to the empty to the void.
They're trying to restore the void, like the void shard, into like a habitable place. So that could be like a good place, like a good excuse to make like you go to the void and beat up void shit, right? And make like that the new boss shit place. Like I think that could be perfectly doable. And like you go there and beat up stuff, and that helps restore the place, and I don't know, shit like that.
I mean, yeah, that's taking into. Sorry,
yeah,
you go.
No, I was gonna say, although what we should have though is the fucking that Muska shit, because they said that like 50 times, and I feel like they're just cucking at this point. Like they said on the MSQ that Muska 50 times, that they're just not gonna do anything about that. They're just gonna leave it there.
We get Damaska, we'll genuinely never see Farron again.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think like I know that they did it for Eureka, for Stormblood, and they did it for Shadowbringers, for like the relic weapons to grind in an area, but they might make it like anima weapons. So rather than going into an area, you have to do 10,000 dungeons or something like that.
Well, technically, the Shadowbringers one, you have both options, right? Like you can.
That's true, yeah.
So,
yeah.
But then for some steps it was like mandatory that you had to go into Zadnor, so then you had to level up.
I think all of them are optional. Like I think you can technically do a relic weapon without going to Zadnor, but it's so horrendously slow that you're better off just going to Zadnor.
Yeah.
So like imagine doing the 150
right,
crystals by doing raids. Like that's just terrible. Like I think technically you can do it without going to Sons, but it's like it's too bad for you to do.
If they do the relic weapons again, I sincerely hope they don't have that stupid one-time step where you have to grind 20 of everything.
Yeah, I hope not.
I think they've done that every expansion.
I hope they stop.
Yeah.
Although
same.
I feel like it's gonna be.
I think they will.
I feel like it's maybe not, but like since we are doing the relic weapons as they come out, it might be like for us to deal with. I know they are grindier, and as time goes on, they make them easier, but I feel like even they will have an easier time.
I sincerely hope they stop because like the only thing it contributes to the relic weapon process is wasting my fucking time.
Yeah, pretty
much. I know that like though you're supposed to grind for the relic weapons, and it's most of your content after MSQ in a typical MMO is just gonna be a lot of grinding, but this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
Literally nothing else in 14 is as grindy as this.
Well,
like when I did the anime, okay, girl, I realized what I said out loud.
Yes.
I said it. Now let me fucking explain. Now the animal weapons, obviously that shit's grindy, but I don't recall a one-time step where I have to do that fucking, where I have to like grind for like 120 of something, or like 20 different, or like 6 things, and you have to get like 20 of them, and only one drops at a time.
So, Eureka, even though they've made it easier, I think Farron and I spend, I would say, the best part of between 15 to 20 hours in the first area, and I didn't get the first step of the relic weapon.
Yeah, we didn't.
And that's 4 years later. So
we never touched it again.
Yeah. It was just too much.
Unacceptable.
It was like, yeah, honestly, like we were, I think we did it for about 4 to 5 hours a day for about a week. And after a while, both of us just went, you know what, I don't think this is worth it. I think we were like maybe 2 or 3 hours away from the first step, but I was like, that's not, like, there's 4 other steps after this, and they just get worse apparently as time goes on. Like, it gets more fun, but it becomes more grindy, and I was like, I don't know if I want more grindy and more fun. I'd rather have more fun, less grindy. But so like Eureka was really, really bad, and still is really. So anyone who's got a Eureka weapon, it's literally, why do you hate yourself? Like, more so than Zadnor Hell, in my opinion. Zadnor Hell's totally not needed, and I wish they wouldn't ever do it. But at least they didn't make the rest of the steps like Eureka, because you can obviously only do Eureka in Eureka. There's no option to do it outside. So, you know, they did improve. So maybe this time they'll improve again and not have the stupid step that you only do once. Maybe they'll actually listen to people, but I doubt they will, to be fair.
Because again, they really need you to pad out your game time.
Yeah.
So they're gonna include those steps, but also stop, please.
Yeah.
It is time.
Yoshi P, if you're listening to this podcast, even though they're not, please stop.
I know that, like, there was a few people who, like, were doing Zadnor Hell, and they were like, there's nothing else to do at the moment, like in the game. There's no new raids, there was no new Alliance raids, or there was an Alliance raid, but I think it was the middle one. What was the middle near one?
Puppet's Bunker?
Puppet's Bunker, and everyone hated it. They did it like once and then never went back. They were like, oh, I could do this. So a lot of people who were doing it at the time didn't actually mind doing it. It was all the people that were doing it afterwards, when all the other steps had come out, and it was like, this is awful, because there's like 10,000 other things I could be doing in this game.
Yes.
And I'm sitting in Zadnor for fucking 10 hours a day trying to get these springs and axles and crystals and books. Like, so shit. It's just so shit, and I hate it. I just hope they don't do it again, like you say.
I hope not too.
They probably will.
Alright. We cover everything. Is there anything else you guys wanna... Anything else you guys wanna say? Anything you want to...
G'raha doesn't love you, he just loves the idea of you.
That's fine by me. I can deal with that.
G'raha spent 100 years reading Heaven's Ward over and over, and only has like shitty photo album photos of you and secondhand stories. And when he meets you, he puts you on a fucking pedestal and helps you because he thinks you're his ideal hero, not because he actually likes you.
That's fine.
Oh
when he finally gets to know you, he still has that hero complex of you that makes nothing that he does seem genuine.
I don't know. I don't think he's in, I definitely, as a serious matter, I don't think he's in love with us. It's just one of those things where it's like, we were his hero, and even even before he went into the tower for 10,000 years or whatever, and became the Exarch, we were still, he still liked us even then. He was like, oh, you're so cool, blah, blah, blah. And obviously then that just got more intense over time.
Started out as a pompous little shit.
Yeah, pretty much. And then obviously then he actually gets to know you, and then it's like, oh, I don't know. I feel like it's genuine. I don't think it's like a... And actually, that's one thing I want to say about Endwalker as well, is before Endwalker, I felt like everybody's tool. I don't know, people were like, oh, we've got this hard thing, let's pick up the warrior light and just throw them at it, Whereas in Endwalker, it actually showed that you have a lot of people that care about you.
That's
be
true.
it platonically or not, or whatever. And I think it did a good way of showing, actually, there are a lot of people out there that do value you and do want to be sort of, do want to be there. But do you know what? If he loves the thought of me, that's fine by me.
I have the same. I guess I have that same idea, but once we hit Endwalker, that doesn't change, simply because what I tend to have as a problem with a lot of media in general, is that obviously they need a way to get you to care about the characters. So it's a lot of pointing at different characters and being like, this is your friend. You love them and they love you. And that's fine. But on a personal level, I don't really feel like I develop enough of an attachment to any of the Scions to really like them on the same level that 99% of the fan base does. Like, there is one, the Studium quest, the Alchemist Culinarian Bun that you have to help improve the fucking Archon mode.
Of course you
I
like
care
it.
about, shut the fuck up. I care about that NPC more than I do any of the Scions. I'm more invested in, like, the different side quests and stuff. Simply because it feels like you make, the side quests are optional. So when you choose to do that optional stuff, or when I choose to do that optional stuff, I have more of an attachment to doing that optional stuff than I do doing, like, the stuff with the Scions. It's why I also said at the time, when we were going through the Xenos cutscene, that I like the Xenos fight, one, because it was cool, and two, it felt like us being able to say whether or not we want to fight Xenos, of like, okay, but I want to beat your ass, or no, I don't want to beat your ass. That's not what I'm about. I'm a good boy, or something like that. That's why I said at the time. Not only was it like the coolest fucking shit, but it felt like one of the most like honest and autonomous choice you could make. Simply because, again, it's not the game pointing at this and being like, hey, this guy is bad, you should not want him to beat the shit out of you. But then it gives you the option of choosing to having like the mutual feeling.
That is true. There has been like a lot of times where I couldn't decide that, I just want to ass. Like, I always need to be like a nice guy, and I'm glad they finally, gave us like that moment of like, now I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. I mean, we didn't really do whatever the fuck we wanted, but at least for those people that, usually oppose choices that we made, we got like that little.
The problem with that is that it's a drop of water in a desert of forced relationships with these people.
No, I agree with you, Arsats. It's just everyone has the perception that the world is. I don't like that.
Yeah, and it's like, what if I want to make a character that, like, for most people, the farthest that they'll go is, they're just my handlers, I don't like them, and then over time they get to love, so they grow to, like, love and appreciate them. What if I want to make a character that just doesn't do that? That's just, like, consistently, like, doesn't like the Scions? Because, like, 14 involves you too much to really have an OC edgelord. Yeah, but I think the level of involvement is exactly that the game gives you is exactly why I don't like any of the Scions, because they essentially become co-workers. You hang around them, you don't mind them so much, but they're not really your friends. You just work with these people.
Co-work.
They tried to fix stuff in Shadowbringers. But you were dying.
They did.
And they made me care for you.
Even in I understand what they were trying to do in Shadowbringers, but even then, I kind of just. So, like, basically, I just, like, I don't like the Scions that much. I care more about literally other characters. I care more about a Bun that you only see for about 2 hours worth of content than I do.
You fucking care for a culinarian Bun.
I care about We're gonna. That's not my point. But I
Yes,
care
is
more.
your fucking point.
No, because I care more about. Remember the minor botanist studium quest of the stupidest fucking soap opera? I was more invested in that than I was in the science. Yeah. Like, probably the best example of, like, my preference, and this is gonna be a super fucking obvious example, is the Dark Knight questline, where you're personally involved, and they do acknowledge that, okay, maybe you don't like everybody.
Thank you. About time.
Yeah. But yeah, I just I'll get off of the box of the soapbox now. I just wanted to, like, you don't understand. I've been holding this in for like 2 months, and I wanted to get this out there.
Okay, I know. But yeah, you're right. I kind of feel the same way. But yeah, as I said, it's kind of hard to be an OC edgelord in this game, but you know, because it involves me too much in being a nice guy. But I still try, you know, I have my ways around it. But it is hard. Anyway, I think that's everything.
Anybody else have anything you want to say, or like?
No.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna wrap it up here because Fern needs to raiding and stuff, so
I think I'm developing a fever.
I'm hungry as well.
yeah, you go guys, go eat some food. Alright. Thank you all for coming, and bye bye everyone.
Goodbye,
Bye.
everybody.
Take care.
Take care.